Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope you guys are doing good. I was getting ready for work tomorrow because, like I said, unlike the corrupt politicians and douchebag billionaires that run this country, some of us actually have to go to work. So, if you guys don't know me, Ricky Campos, I am a blue collar worker, old school blue, true blue Democrat, just regular 8 to 5, Monday through Friday worker. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to go in early, have a 6 o'clock job. And like I said, unlike these corrupt billionaires that just sit in their yachts all day and these corrupt politicians that make those backwards deals, some of us actually have to go to work for a living. So I was having a good weekend, everything was going good, and I was in a really good headspace that I'm like, you know what, let's just throw a wrench in all that and dive into the news real quick. So these videos are going to be shorter. The audio probably sounds worse. My mic died on me today as soon as I wanted to get on the stream, so it should look a little cleaner. Got some new software, but the audio is going to be a little janky. I'm hoping to get that mic issue fixed soon. But let's take a look here. Let's just like I said, this is the kind of stuff that just like will ruin a weekend. So right here, Google News top page. Middle East crisis live. Israel says it has launched extensive strikes on Iran. Of course, because Trump is literally Israel's little bitch. Anything Israel says, Trump is like, tell me, Israel, how much more higher do you want me to jump? Anything you want, Israel. Let me get on my knees for you. Like, come on, man. Jesus. I can't. I mean, Israel, who has literally launched this genocide on the Palestinian people for years already, I think everybody now has fully come to terms with the fact that that's wrong. We shouldn't have been doing that. And Trump is still just bending over backwards to like go after every possible win that they possibly have. Just crazy the fact that we're still supporting Israel on these issues. I thought this article was really good. And like I said, I'm just going to hit this one article. It's Sunday. It should be a pretty slow news day. So we'll just hit this one article and then I will get you guys on your way so you can, much like me, look forward to working another week in a country that is quickly deteriorating in front of our eyes. Al Jazeera, muted response as Trump urges nations to escort ships through the Hormuz Strait. So for any of you that don't know, if you've seen the price of gas raising, it's because of this unnecessary war that Trump has just, decided to elicit on yet another country. I mean, we just had the Venezuela thing happen. Hopefully this doesn't end up happening with Greenland, right? But once again, Trump, I'm sure an effort to try and line his own pockets with money and help those, just those corrupt oil barons that are already like Exxon and BP and all of those people. Just did we not learn our lessons from the war in Iraq? Did we learn literally nothing? But the Hormuz Strait is pretty much where all of that crude oil comes through so that it can be refined and then sent out so that everybody in the world can have it, because now that strait, that small channel that runs through Iran has now been blockaded by them. Supply and demand, just simple economics. Like, Trump is supposed to be the genius businessman, yet has absolutely just no regard for the concept of supply and demand. Like, what did you think was going to happen when you started this war? Just ridiculous. So let's just go through it real quick. Like I said, it should be a quick video. President Donald Trump's suggestion that countries send their warships alongside U.S. naval forces to keep the Strait of Hormuz open and safe has brought no immediate commitments. Well, no shit. As oil prices soar due to U.S. and Israel's war on Iran. See, and it's right there, war on Iran. See, now, call me old-fashioned, but I thought that when you were going to start a war with another country, you needed the approval of Congress before you did that. I haven't heard that happen. Once again, Trump, much like he did with Venezuela, where he just created a whole narrative where through Venezuela, tons of ships were coming through that were carrying fentanyl, yet we come to find out none of that was true. None of that was based on facts. That was a complete fabrication, and we just allow these people. We allow Trump and his cronies to go on Fox News and Newsmax to go and just vomit this misinformation, and it's frustrating. So I think this is a direct quote from Trump. Hopefully China, France, Japan, South Korea, and the UK and others that are affected by this artificial constraint will send ships to the area so that the Hormuz Strait will no longer be a threat by a nation that has been totally decapitated. Trump Get out of here, dude. Like, and this is the perfect example of fuck around and find out. What did you think was going to happen, dude? What did you think was going to happen when you go into Venezuela, you go into other countries to topple their government because you want to do your little backwards deals and line your own money with millions and billions of dollars of money, and you want to do it so that you can once again bend over backwards for those corporate fuckheads that are screwing up our country, and then you want to now go and start a war in Iran because Israel wants you to, and because you want to once again find your own little corrupt ways of making money. And once again, we've seen this happen before. We've seen this happen with Iraq. We just saw it with Venezuela, and then this is what happens when you also threaten Greenland and a perfectly peaceful country that you want to take them over. You are turning into a dictator of a country that's known as, the biggest free country, the biggest free superpower in the free world, and this is the way that you treat it. And how do you think that any of our allies are going to act when that's the way that you run the country? Of course they're not going to want to support you. It's some of the most infuriating stuff, because it's those jets that are being shot down, those drones that are being shot down, those Tomahawk missiles that are being paid for, that are being dropped on schools, killing 170 innocent children in countries that have not actually threatened us in any way. All of that's being paid for by our tax dollars. Me waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow to continue to pay those federal taxes, those income taxes at the end of the year. You guys going to work in whatever industry you want to, and that money being taken out of your paycheck is always being funneled back over to just these corrupt billionaires and politicians finding ways to screw you so that they can continue to help out everybody else behind the scenes. And it's like I said, it's the kind of stuff that I was having such a good weekend, but getting a good night's sleep is overrated. So this is the kind of stuff that keeps me up at night. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, I'm going to try to do shorter of these videos. It's a slow news day, so we'll just keep it at one. Hopefully, like I said, it was just mildly informative, which is all we can ask for. Hope you guys can watch more of these videos. And like I said, I hope you guys have a great week. Get out there. Don't get discouraged. Work as hard as you can. Be the best American you can in spite of these terrible politicians and the way that they're running this country into the ground. And we're not going to stand for it. Like I said, we're going to stand up. We're going to be informed. Hope you guys have a great week, and thank you so much for watching.